The grip motion controller is the main way you interact with the drone during the flight. Unlike traditional dual stick controllers, this device responds to how you would hold it and how you move your hand and how your hand moves. Taking time to learn proper handling before takeoff makes the flight smoother, reduces sudden movements, and can cause a loss of control. This chapter walks you through exactly how to hold the controller, identify the controls, and perform basic actions safely. Holding the controller properly. Before turning the controller on, make sure your hands are clean and dry. Moisture or sweat can cause slipping during the flight. Hold the controller with your dominant hand unless you have been instructed otherwise by the system. Wrap around the grip naturally, as if holding a small handle. Your palm should rest firmly against the back of the grip, not floating or loosely touching. Your index finger should sit comfortably on the first trigger area, if one is present. Do not squeeze the trigger yet. Keep light contact only. Your thumb should rest near the top surface where the buttons or the small joystick may be located. Avoid hovering your thumb in the air. Resting it helps stabilize the hand. Keep your wrist straight. Do not bend it upward or downward. Natural wrist position allows the controller to detect motion accurately and prevent accidental directional input. Your arm should be relaxed at your side or slightly in front of your body. Avoid holding the controller above the shoulder or height or locking your elbow. Tension in the arm often causes shaky movement. If using goggles, put them on after the controller is held correctly. Once you view the switches in the live camera feed, your hand position becomes even more important since the visual reference of your body is limited. Before takeoff, practice holding the controller still for several seconds. If the drone reacts while you are not intending movement, adjust your grip until your hand remains steady. Locating the buttons, triggers, and joysticks. Spend some time identifying each control before flying. Do this while the drone is powered off. Look at the front of the controller. Most users will find a trigger or the primary action button in this area. This is commonly used for flight-related actions such as movement, confirmation, or recording input. Do not assume this function, only press it once. You understand that this occurs on the screen. On the top surface you may find one or more buttons or a small joystick. These are typically used for directional input, camera actions, or menu selection. Use your thumb to reach these without shifting your grip. Check the side surfaces. Some controls or controllers include secondary buttons placed where the thumb or the index finger can reach them naturally. These may be used for some mode changes or auxiliary actions depending on the system state. The power button is usually separate and slightly recessed, immediately identifiable and clear. Avoid pressing it accidentally during the flight. Look for indicator lights on the controller body. These lights provide visual confirmation that the controller is powered on and connected. Do not rely on memory alone. Before every flight session, quickly review button placement with the controller in your hand. Never press multiple buttons at the same time unless the system clearly instructs you to do so. Using the motion-based directional control. Motion control works by transferring hand movement into the drone movement. Small movements produce responses. Large and sudden movements can cause sharp directional changes. Before takeoff, keep the controller level. The forward direction of the controller usually corresponds to the forward direction of the drone. Pointing the controller slightly forward typically signals forward movement. To move forward, gently tilt your hand forward. Do not push your arm. The movement should come from the wrist and forearm, not the shoulder. To slow or stop movement, return the controller to the natural position. Holding the controller level is the fastest way to stabilize the drone. To turn left or right, rotate your wrist slightly in the desired direction. Avoid twisting the center arm. Small wrist rotation is usually enough. To move sideways, tilt the controller gently to the left or right, depending on how the system interprets motion input. Always test movement slowly at low altitude. If the drone begins drifting unexpectedly, stop all hand motion immediately. Hold the controller still. The drone will often stabilize once motion input stops. Never wave the controller or make fast gestures. The system is designed for smooth input, not expressive motion. Practice motion control while hovering at a safe height to avoid practicing near obstacles or people. If you feel disorientated while wearing the goggles, pause movement and hold the controller steady until your view stabilizes. Basic actions for beginners. Beginner flight should focus on 5 basic functions or actions: hover, forward movement, backward movement, which you can't do by the way, turning and landing. Starting with the hover. Well, you can do the backward movement, you use the rotational wheel to turn it round. Start with the hover. After taking off, do not move the controller. Observe how the drone holds position. This helps you understand how still your hand must be. Next, practice moving forward a short distance. Tilt the controller slightly forward and hold 1 for 2 seconds. Return to the neutral and let the drone stop. Practicing moving backwards by tilting the controller gently in the opposite direction. Always allow the drone to stop completely before changing direction. Practice slow turns, rotate your wrist slightly left and right and watch how the drone responds in the camera view. Stop rotation before it becomes uncomfortable. Avoid sudden movements earlier on. Do not move forward, turn at the same time until you're confident. Use short inputs rather than continuous movement. Small corrections are easier to manage. If recording, fly even more slowly. Sudden motion affects the footage quality and makes the control harder. If the drone begins to drift or climb unexpectedly, return to the controller to neutral immediately. Practice these actions in short sessions. 10 minutes of focused practice is more effective than long flights. Couple of do's and don'ts. Do hold the controller firmly but gently. Keep the wrist in the neutral position. Make slow, deliberate movements. Practice hovering before moving. Keep the arm relaxed. Watch battery and signal indicators. Land immediately if control feels unstable. Don't swing or wave the controller. Don't fly while feeling tired or distracted. Do not press unknown buttons during the flight. Do not grip too tightly. Do not fly near people or objects while learning. Do not attempt fast movements earlier on. Do not move goggles during the flight. If at any time the controller feels unresponsive or the drone behaves unpredictably, stop input and prepare to land. Maintaining calm, steady control is the key to safe motion-based flight. Learning grip motion control takes practice, but once your hand movement becomes constant, control becomes intuitive. Focus on stability first, movement second. Confidence comes with repetition and not speed.